Amusan is going to win this first semi-final over Keni Harrison. 12,
World record.
12.
World record.
12-12, are you kidding? She has just broken Keni Harrison's world record.
World record at these championships, so she will get $100,000 for her efforts no matter what else happens.
In 2016, a Nigerian teenager warned the fastest hurdler in history, "Your record won't last." Nobody believed her. She wasn't even close. For 6 years she fell short, twice finishing fourth, nearly walking away. Then one semifinal changed everything. The record fell, and the woman who lost it embraced her. This is the story of a promise nobody believed until it came true. To understand why that promise mattered, you have to see where it began. Ijebu-Ode lies about 60 kilometers inland from Lagos, known more for its markets and Yoruba heritage than world record hurdlers. Tobi Amusan was born there on April 23, 1997, the youngest of 3 children raised by 2 school teachers. In their home, school came first. Sport came second. At Our Lady of Apostles Secondary School, she trained around her studies, and she was not originally a hurdler. At the 2013 African Youth Championships in Warri, she raced the 200 meters and won silver. Her speed attracted attention before her ability over barriers did. A year later, she shifted toward the hurdles and earned silver in the 100-meter hurdles at the African Youth Games. By 2015, at 18, the experiment had become her future. She won gold at the African Junior Athletics Championships, then gold again at the All-Africa Games. In 2016, the University of Texas at El Paso offered her a scholarship. She left Nigeria at 18 and entered one of the world's fiercest athletic development systems. She entered a Division I program that had not seen a freshman hurdler produce times like hers in decades. During her first semester, she broke a UTEP record that had stood since 1983, erasing Kim Turner's 33-year mark only months after leaving home. But another moment from that year would define what came next. On July 22, 2016, at the London Anniversary Games, Kendra Harrison ran 12.20 and broke the 6-year-old world record. The timing was painfully extraordinary. A week earlier, she had failed to make the United States Olympic team for Rio. She would miss the games she had trained for. Yet, on a Friday night in London, she became the fastest women's hurdler ever. Harrison posted that she was now the world record holder and living proof of what faith could accomplish. Thousands of miles away in Texas, 19-year-old Tobi Amusan saw it. Around Harrison's birthday, Amusan replied directly, warning that the record would not last because she was coming for it. It sounded like youthful ambition. Her personal best was nowhere near 12.20. She was a Nigerian college freshman, publicly challenging the fastest woman in history. Nobody realized it was not a wish. It was a timetable. The next 5 years were harder than any highlight reel suggests. Amusan kept reaching the edge of greatness without knowing whether the final gap would ever close. At the 2019 World Championships in Doha, she reached the final and finished 4th. Not 4th in a heat or semifinal, 4th in the world. Close enough to appear in the photograph beside the podium, but without a medal, a ceremony, or the moment she had worked for. At the delayed Tokyo Olympics in 2021, she reached another final and finished 4th again. 2 of the sport's biggest stages, 2 finals. The same painful position. Danielle Williams, who later became world champion in Budapest, said Amusan came close to leaving the sport after those results. 4th place twice at the highest level creates a particular cruelty. Too good to dismiss, too close to feel satisfied, remembered only as the athlete outside the medals. But Amusan returned to work. At the 2021 Diamond League final in Zurich, she won the 100-meter hurdles, becoming the first Nigerian athlete ever to claim a Diamond League title in any event. She also broke Gloria Alozi's long-standing African record. She was no longer a 4th-place finisher, quietly collecting experience. In the world's premier individual hurdle event, she had become a champion capable of beating the best on demand. In 2022, her times kept falling. She ran 12.41 in Paris, then 12.40 in the qualifying rounds at the World Championships in Eugene, breaking the African record again. Each race suggested she had finally found the gear she had spent years chasing. Then came July 24th, 2022, at Hayward Field. Before we reach that moment, answer this. Did you expect Tobi Amusan to break the world record in a semifinal? Drop your answer below. I read every comment. In heat, one of the women's 100-meter hurdles semifinals, Kendra Harrison was in the field. Her 12.20 record had stood for 6 years. Harrison ran 12.27, her fastest time since setting that record. Amusan ran 12.12, 0.08 faster. Not a narrow revision, but an emphatic erasure. Amusan crossed the line, looked at the scoreboard, and struggled to process the number. Harrison saw that her best performance in 6 years had still been beaten decisively. She smiled, walked toward Amusan, and embraced her. The record holder hugging the woman who had just taken her record became one of modern athletics' most genuine moments. Harrison had watched the 19-year-old who warned her in a tweet 6 years earlier make that promise real. She later said she was glad the record had gone to a Nigerian athlete. 90 minutes later, Amusan returned for the final and ran 12.06, even faster. But a 2.5 meter per second tailwind made it ineligible as a world record. She still won the world title and called the record a bonus. She had always believed the ability was there. Seeing 12.12 simply confirmed that the moment had arrived. Then came another battle. In the months after the record, a provisional suspension was announced relating to a test before the championships involving trimetazidine, a heart medication. Amusan denied wrongdoing, cooperated throughout the Athletics Integrity Unit hearing, and allowed the case to move through the sport's official channels rather than public speculation. The AIU ultimately ruled in her favor, clearing her of any intentional violation. Her record stood. Her world title stood. But defending a time is different from defending your character, while the greatest achievement of your career is still being celebrated around the world. The process was public, difficult, and impossible to minimize. She came through it with both her name and accomplishments intact. At the 2023 World Championships in Budapest, Amusan won silver behind Danielle Williams, the athlete who had seen how close she came to quitting. At the 2024 Paris Olympics, she took silver behind American Masai Russell, who won in the 12.33. Back-to-back silver medals at the biggest events would define an extraordinary career for most athletes. But for a world record holder, they also suggested that something in the preparation had to change. So, Amusan made one. She joined coach Glenn Mills, the architect of Usain Bolt's world record career, and a coach known for patience, technical precision, and long-term development. Changing coaches at 27, after already reaching the top, required trust. She was betting that the man who helped shape history's greatest sprinter could transform a hurdler whose talent was already proven. The preparation changed. The technical focus changed. Momentum followed. A silver medal at the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo, her third major championship silver in 3 years, showed that the rebuild was working before the victories fully arrived. Then, on June 28, 2026, she won in Paris in 12.27, earning her third Diamond League victory of the season. Next came preparation for the Prefontaine Classic, followed by the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, where she would defend the gold medal she had held since 2022. Her world record of 12.12, set in that Eugene semifinal, still stands. Masai Russell has run 12.14, the second fastest time in history and the closest anyone has come since that night. But 12.12 remains at the top of the all-time list. Amusan's name is still beside it. The promise she made at 19 is still answered in full. Kendra Harrison held the record for 6 years. When it fell, she was in the race. Her response was not complaint or deflection, but a smile and a hug at Hayward Field. She understood the journey because she had lived her own bittersweet version, breaking a world record in London 1 week after missing the Olympics. Amusan was 19 when she told Harrison she was coming. She was 25 when she made it literal, 6 years and a continent away from the tweet that began it. Between those moments came 2 fourth-place finishes, a near decision to quit, a public suspension battle, and 3 major silver medals earned while climbing again. At the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics, Amusan will be 31, coached by Glenn Mills, still holding the world record, and entering the next chapter with 3 Diamond League wins in 2026 before the Summer Championships even begin. So here's the question. Does Tobi Amusan win Olympic gold in Los Angeles? And does 12.12 survive until then? Or does she lower it before she arrives? Drop your answer in the comments. I rate everyone. And subscribe now, because this journey has already taken years, and it is not finished.